Yes, I know this story is getting kinda old now, but being the law guy that I am, I had to say something about it. Now, I'm more interested in the legal questions that are raised in this issue rather than the actual story itself. But in order to understand those legal issues, we kind of have to go through the story very quickly. By all means, let me know if I get any facts wrong, and then I'll be able to hopefully annotate the video accordingly. So there's this well-known footballer who allegedly had a 7-month affair with a former reality TV contestant. But as you probably know, for legal reasons, we cannot say his name, so let's just call him Voldemort. Now, Voldemort didn't want his allegation to end up in the local press, so he successfully goes to the courts and obtains an injunction out against him, specifically a gagging order. I don't know if that's the proper legal term, gagging order, but let's move on. An injunction is basically a court order that makes the other party do or refrain from doing certain things. A gagging order is an injunction that restricts information or certain comments from being made public. Now, there is this Twitter account that for some reason goes about revealing these injunctions to his or her followers, and unfortunately for our friend Voldemort, his injunction or gagging order was no different. Okay, now Voldemort, probably in an angry mood, tries to get the identity of the perpetrator or the perpetrator that started all this from the microblogging site Twitter. And my guess is that Twitter must have said no, because Voldemort then ends up suing Twitter. In my opinion, this is a bad move, by the way. I really hope that his legal team, if he had one, I'm pretty sure he did have one, I hope they didn't advise that. Why, do you ask? Tangent. Now, Twitter has no base in the UK. In fact, they're actually based in the USA, San Francisco, California to be precise. So, chances are they won't be too willing to follow any sort of British or English jurisdiction. I don't know, something about 4th of July, Battle of Independence or something, I'm not sure. And the news and the media then report this, then a whole bunch of Twitter users get a little bit curious, around 75,000, well over that amount or so. They all dive in, fish out the information, then it spreads like wildfire. The Scottish paper, the Sunday Herald, then posts a picture of the footballer they believe to be behind all this, minus the eyes, because they thought the gagging orders didn't apply to them because, you know, they live in Scotland. Then an MP called John Hemming ends this all censorship and cloak and dagger stuff by using his parliamentary privilege to name the true name of Voldemort while he was in the House of Commons, and then that's it. Phew. So why did this turn to such a big issue? I mean, after all, an allegation of a footballer playing away from home, pardon the pun, is, well, nothing new. Well, one could argue that it raises a lot of questions on privacy law, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. I mean, David Cameron himself couldn't understand why certain newspapers, well, all newspapers, couldn't report on certain things that people are already talking about. Some have even gone as far as saying that our current privacy laws are threatening our very democracy. I mean, the average Joe could face a fine or even imprisonment for merely telling the truth? Well, in light of all this, I honestly believe that the privacy laws will eventually be reviewed. Well, whether it will favour the modern citizen journalist age, or whether it will cater to those who fight tooth and nail for their privacy and their private life, well, only time will tell. Hey, this is Big Guy Z, signing off.